and then they were accused of being spies or worse. One of them was sentenced to 10 years in jail. The other 6 years and 6 months.
The story we have is that these guys were IT specialists who had got into Somali to work with this telecom company, and they were setting up
in
stuff.
Ethiopia.
They left in Ethiopia. They went, did their work, then came back. Then when they went back again,
they were arrested.
They arrested the people they were working for. MIA.
And the mother cried.
The mom came here,
the sister cried.
It was crazy. One of the most heart-wrenching
stories
that we've ever had in this show.
3 years and 8 months later.
Incarceration.
3 years, 8 months later.
In Ethiopia.
These two gentlemen were finally released on the 16th of June this year, just 2 weeks ago. Literally 2 weeks ago, they were released, given their freedom. And now, joining us for the very first time, Maxwell Omondi and Osborne Otindo Namai, live in the studio. Gentlemen, welcome to Hot 96.
Thank you very much.
Hey, karibieni Mike.
You are free.
Musiogope. Hamuko Ethiopia.
Tuko Kenya sahi. Maxwell, how are you?
What? I'm very fine.
I'm telling you, your mom sat here. Your mom sat here and you could see the pain she was going through. The fact that they had to travel each and every single time to just see you. And sometimes they would travel, get to Ethiopia and never get to see you.
And then return the same day.
Yes. Crazy.
Yes.
What's the story? Maybe you guys can tell us. What happened?
Yeah. How did it go? How did you end up there?
Oh, it just started with a phone call about a job. And then, as usual, you're looking for opportunity, greener pastures. Then, of course, I traveled to Ethiopia for the job. And actually, everything looked normal, like a normal job where you have your interview, and then everything is checking out. All the permits, you think all the permits have been paid for. And then 3 months down the line, a policeman knocks at the door and tells you, whatever you're doing here is illegal. And that is how I was arrested. And in Ethiopia, the language barrier, which is Amharic, played a major role in misunderstanding the whole issue. Because we just thought we were doing a normal job, like every day you wake up, you go to work, and then one day the police just walks in and tells you whatever you're doing is illegal.
And where were the bosses at this point, Osborne? Where were they?
Our bosses, they're normally based in America. Yeah, that's where they reside.
Right.
So normally they usually we work with them through the internet, Skype. Most of the time we communicate via Skype.
Yeah.
They'll clarify on how the business is doing.
Okay, so you find yourselves arrested. How many of you were there?
Me, I was arrested alone in the office.
Yeah. And Maxwell?
Same.
Also?
Yes.
So you end up in a cell?
Yeah, we went to the cell. We spent there I spent 53 days.
In the cell?
Yeah.
53?
Yeah, 53 days before being transferred to the prison. Because the cell is in Addis Ababa, but the prison is like 25 kilometers from Addis Ababa. It's called Kaliti.
Okay.
Kaliti.
Yeah, Kaliti.
So ni kama kwenda Inda, right? In a holding cell.
Kama sasa ushikwe hapo upelekwe Central.
Yeah.
Alafu prisons upelekwe Kamiti 23 kilometers.
53 days later.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this 53 days, actually, they tell you that they are conducting an investigation. So actually, they would call you for interrogation different times of the day. And then they would interrogate you about a number of things. Some of them you don't even know.
Are they doing this in English? Broken English.
Broken English, and some translators are there who a lot of things are lost in translation.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you don't understand each other actually.
Were you allowed communication with family at this point?
No.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So the first 53 days you don't know what's happening. Ni tu maswali.
Yeah.
Mukirudi kwa cell. Swali munarudi.
Yeah.
Yes.
No contact with our families. In fact, like me, my mother, I remember on we were arrested on 27th of October 2014. So 2 days later, my mom told my younger brother, I'm trying to call. At home they call me Bonnie. I'm trying to reach Bonnie, but he's not available. So my brothers told them, no, you don't need to worry. So she took 3 months to notice that I was having a problem.
Oh my goodness.
So in between that 3 months, she was going to the foreign affairs. She shared the issue with her friends. Then they advised her the best way to clarify on this issue is you'd rather go to the foreign affairs. So 3 months down the line is when she realized that I was in custody.
Okay, so Maxwell, 53 days later, what happens?
Okay, now when they tell you now that the investigation is over and now we are charging you with fraud, so they took us to court. So High Court. It's a High Court in Addis.
Yep.
And then they charge you. They give you a charge sheet. Everything is written in Amharic. You cannot even read it. You don't know what they've written.
Yeah. Right.
So you're just slapped with a charge and told now that the investigation is finished. Now you have to go to prison.
Have you been sentenced?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. So you have to go to prison. Then you don't even believe it that you're going to prison. You ask them again, are you sure I'm going to prison?
Yeah.
But they tell you, now your case, you'll only be following it up from prison. But you can ask for bail still at this point.
So you're taken to this, what's it called?
Kaliti.
Yeah. What's it like? How many people are in there? How many people are in the cell? What's it like?
Kaliti, it has many zones. It has like 5 zones. So we went to zone 6 where foreigners are based.
Okay.
It's typically a foreigner zone, but we are mixed also with the locals.
So how many what kind of foreigner? Nigerians, of course.
Yes. They are Nigerians.
Chinese.
People from different nationalities.
Chinese many,
Yes.
Tanzania.
How many?
In our zone, we were like 395. Because they have four rooms in zone 6.
And how many in a room? How many in a cell?
100. It's a room.
Yeah.
Let's say 20 or 20 by 40.
Like this studio here.
This one is a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
But now it's a big room, with beds.
How many people?
Double-decker beds.
Oh, you have beds?
Yes.
You have beds in the prison?
Yes.
Yeah, there are beds, but it depends. There is a season where the beds are not even enough. So you'd be compelled to
Sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Were there other Kenyans?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you in uniform?
Yeah, there are uniforms. There are those who are on trial. They put on uniforms. They put the yellow uniform. But once you are convicted, you put on the red uniform.
Red is danger.
Yeah.
Somebody is asking, what was the actual job that you guys were doing?
Actually, it's a telecommunication service. So, like, you'd give a service to make international calls, for example. But in Ethiopia, any telecom service, if you offer any telecom service, it's illegal because it's the government is controlling the telecom of Ethiopia.
Correct.
So it means if you're giving any service, like, for example, I remember some time back in Kenya, you'd go into a small booth and you'd make an international call to US and all this, and then you'd be given a charge that you spoke for this number of minutes.
This is how much you pay.
This is how much you pay.
Yeah.
So it was more or less like that kind of service. People would come but we would use the VoIP. It's voice over internet.
Yes. And it wasn't, other than the fact that the Ethiopian government controls communications, nothing about it was illegal.
No.
You weren't spies.
No, we're not spies. Yeah.
Is there something else you guys were doing?
If you were spies, would you tell us?
Because even us, we were shocked when we came. We were curious. We went through the blogs, so we saw some very big accusations there. Some people were saying we were accused of spying and supporting terrorism. Yeah. So we really don't know how the connection between what we were doing and maybe there was a misinformation, maybe from one end to here.
Well, you know what happens with bloggers, eh?
Yeah.
That's standard. So anyway, sentencing day comes.
Yeah.
Maxwell, you're given 10 years.
Yes.
Did you understand what you were saying? I'm sure it was all in Amharic.
Yes. Okay. There is a translator.
Okay.
But the translator actually, you will not get what they are saying. So you have your lawyer there. Your lawyer would try and interpret what the judges have said. So when they sentenced me 10 years, we did not even expect, because we've been going through their laws. When we're in prison, we are going through their laws, what to expect generally. You take their gazette, and you check which type of crime is this, how much the sentence. So we were according to the charge that we were given, we were going to face a charge of 10 to 20
years. That is the article.
Yes. Yeah. So we were expecting that maybe they will go lower than that, because actually we were employees.
Right.
We
were the owners.
The charge says that if you are running this business, which means you are the owner.
But you guys were just employees.
So we were expecting nothing.
So they give you 10 years. What goes through you? What do you break down? What do you do?
Well, at that point, we've been going to the court for over 3 years. By the time they are sentencing you, you've been going for the court for 3 years. It reaches a point where you're fed up. You just want it to be over, right? Because you're going every day with hope that you will be released. Sometimes that is like my mom said over here. She used to come. When our families travel to come and see us, they have hope that maybe there's a good news. So by the time they gave me the 10 years, I was heartbroken.
Yeah. How about you, Osborne?
Yeah, me, I got sentenced, but before you, Imi was sentenced before me. So, looking at the accusations that he had, and mine were bigger than his. So when he got that 10 years, I was really down, because I knew, they were calculating the damage that they incurred.
Right.
So I had in mind that mine will be
worse.
So
he got his red uniform while you still had your yellow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's been sentenced. He's
he
walking around in red uniform.
Exactly.
You are in your yellow. Waiting for sentencing.
Yeah.
And then your day comes.
My day came on 26th of January this year.
Okay.
After that one, I had already done 3 years and 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah, it was when I went to court, that's the day of sentencing. I had a different feeling, but in between I used to panic. I used to know that I'll get a very bigger sentence and the fine also. The problem is how to raise that money that day.
The fine.
Because them, they have the sentence and the fine.
So you got 6 years.
6 years and 6 months. Yeah.
So, for lack of a better word, you were a little relieved.
Yeah, me, I was... even I didn't expect to get that 6 years and 6 months. When they read it, I was supposed to get 12. So they took the mitigation. Me, I had 4 mitigating circumstances.
Okay.
So I was lucky all of them were accepted. So they started working on the minimum.
Right.
So the minimum, according to the article, is 10 to 20 years. But the minimum they settled on was 6 years and 6 months.
Wow.
And
one of you died.
Yeah, our colleague died on 10th of December 2016.
Tell us about that.
Zakayo his name is Zakayo Muriuki. May his soul rest in peace. Basically, he found us there. He met us in 2015. The time difference between our arrest and his arrest was like 2 months. So he was sent by Intersat. He was sent to Jigjiga to fix a certain satellite. So when he landed in Addis Ababa, he took another connecting flight to Jigjiga. So he was supposed to do the setup like the following day. So he checked in a hotel. Then the following morning, when he was about to go and fix the dish, he was arrested.
Wow.
Yeah, he did not even touch anything.
No.
Yeah.
He just found himself under arrest.
Yeah.
Did you know him before?
No, we didn't know him.
You don't know. Okay, he was just part of the company.
Yeah.
So, and then what? He got ill, or what happened?
Yeah, he started feeling unwell 6 months before he passed on. Yeah.
And he died there in Ethiopia?
Yeah, he died in Addis Ababa in a referral hospital.
Okay. What I can say about Zach, may his soul rest in peace. There's a lot of factors in that prison. Medical factors, we can say. Number one is that language barrier, like I said. You can go and say you have a headache and they will treat you for your leg.
Yeah.
Because there is before it is diagnosed, because the prison they offer the medical service.
Yeah.
But you find that when you go and explain what is happening to you, maybe for example how you're feeling, they might misunderstand.
Yeah.
And there are others people who also, just because they feel something, they will go to hospital as well and ask for the same medicine.
Yeah.
So something will be lost in translation or something like this.
So what you're saying is he could have been saved?
We would put it like that. If there were different circumstances, then probably you could have been
correct.
saved. Yes.
Shame.
Because he really tried. He really tried. He was concerned. Because sometimes they can refer you, but they misdiagnose you.
They give you the wrong medication.
Yeah.
Shame. Gentlemen, so you're sitting there, you've got 10 years, you've got 6 years and 6 months.
Exactly.
And you're losing hope every day, as was your families. We're going to take a quick break, come back and find out who intervened, what happened, so that you guys are now with us here today as free men.
And it is not 10 years down the line.
No, it was just a few months. I mean, 3 years and 8 months is no joke, right?
Was mom in the courts that day? Was your family in the courts that day?
The sentencing day?
No, for me, the family was not there because it is very hard to time it.
Yeah. You don't know.
Because every time you go, you get an appointment.
Yeah.
You're told, this is the last one.
Yeah.
We are going to sentence you today.
Yeah.
Somebody travel.
We also want to know, what was the worst thing about it being in that committee? What do you call it? Kaliti?
Kaliti.
There's Kaliti and there's committee.
Yeah. Both of them are car.
Let's take a break. This is unbelievable. What a story, guys. You guys, this is a movie almost. There's a movie somewhere here. Well done.